welcome. Today we're looking at seasonal anime for the Winter 2023 Cour. I did one of these a while ago, last year sometime. I haven't really done one since, but I think from now on I should try to get one of these out every season just to have a quick look over what anime will be airing and sort of give my thoughts and sort of decide what shows I would like to actually watch over this season. Let's start off, just go through the list of everything that's coming out or that's been announced to be coming out next season, which is only a couple days now. Vinland Saga Season 2. I've seen the first season. It doesn't really sound like anything I'd be interested in, so I probably won't be watching that. So, Mao Gakuen no Futakugosha. So this is the Mystery of Demon Academy's second season. First season, that was just a couple of years ago now. It was a reasonably good anime. I liked it when I watched it. It is a fantasy anime, but not like a isekai. It's reincarnated in the same world. There's a few other fantasy animes, sort of similar themes, where he was the Demon Lord, and he's coming back to be the new Demon Lord in the sense. It's probably the best way of explaining it. What people know about the Demon Lord has all changed over all the years since. The actor that's playing the main Anos, he's been replaced with a new actor after there was some incident where he allegedly cheated on his wife or something like that. I can't remember the exact story, but something like that. So the protagonist is voiced by a different person. I probably will be watching it just because I watched the first season, it was quite good. The next show, we've got Nagatoro. I watched the couple episodes in the first show, it was fine. I'd probably have to finish watching the first season before I'd consider watching the second season. Tokyo Revengers. It's a new season. I haven't seen the first season, probably won't watch it. Tango Stray Dogs, fourth season again. It's another season, I haven't seen any of the previous seasons, so probably watching that. We have the second series of Bofuri. The first season is sort of a video game isekai. It was fine. This will probably be a continuation of that same story. I'll probably end up watching it. The video game world in it isn't the most realistic because it's quite flawed from like a game design perspective, but who cares, it's something to watch. But Nier Automata, so it's of course based on the game. I guess it's a couple of games, I believe. I haven't played the games, but I know they are quite popular. Maybe I'll check it out to see what things show up in the anime. We have Inspector, second season. So I watched the first season, it was reasonably good. I believe it's a Crunchyroll original series, at least the first season was. I'll probably watch that. Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in Dungeon, season 4, part 2. I watched the first season, this first season was fine, it's just a fantasy anime. I watched some of the episodes in the second season, didn't really seem as interesting, so probably won't be watching that. We have Tsunari no Tenshi-sama ni Hitsu no Manaka Damai Ningen. The title doesn't all show up, so I can't read the title. Sounds a bit of interesting just reading the synopsis here. So girl the protagonist gives an umbrella to is an angel. Maybe I'll watch that. So Spy Kyoshitsu. That sounds interesting. It's sort of a war anime. We've got the second season of By the Grace of the Gods. I watched the first season. It is an isekai. Probably end up watching that. I seem to watch every isekai. So he's basically meets up with the gods in the first episode and gets reincarnated, and he gets basically the ability to control slimes, or at least he's a tamer and uses that to control slimes. And he uses them some unique ways based on some information that he also gets from his past life. But inu ni natara suki na hito ni hirowareta. So my life is Inukai's dog. So it's not the first anime I've seen that has the protagonist basically be reincarnated as a dog. There was Dog and Scissors. Of course, in that, the protagonist is the dog. I don't think it's really explained why it becomes the dog, what actually happens, but he does in that. So maybe just to see what this is like, I'll watch the first episode, maybe I can compare it to Dog and Scissors. We have the second season of Spirit of Evolution. It's sort of a comedy isekai series, where basically he's an unpopular kid. After he gets reincarnated, he gets separated, he gets a lot of powers. I'll probably see what that's like, maybe watch the first couple episodes. It was fine to watch the first season, don't really know much about the second season. Hopefully they'll do which is good. Again, we've got another one with a very long name. Probably can't say the entire title, so I'll just use the abbreviated English name, Reborn to Master the Blade. So it sounds like it's a reincarnation anime, not like an isekai. Someone from this fantasy world gets reincarnated in the same world. So it looks like the king gets reincarnated as the daughter from a minor noble family. Presumably they go on to do great things. And they probably get up some powers, given the fact that's a pretty common trope for isekai anime. I'll probably see what that's like. Next we have Isekai Nobiri Noka. That's also an isekai where someone gets reincarnated, except this one is an actual isekai, not just someone from the same world being reincarnated. This is a proper isekai. This one's also about farming in another world. It's not the only farming isekai that's been released recently. There was one, I believe it was the last Cour, or maybe before. That one wasn't very good, but hopefully this one can be interesting, so I'll probably see what that's like. Sunjay villainous. There's been a few villainous anime. Maybe I'll watch this to compare it. Except I'm not really clear based on what the description is here. Maybe I'll just have to watch the first episode just to figure out what it's actually about before being able to comment on whether it seems any good. Ningen Fushin no Bakensha Tachi ga Sekai wo Suku yo desu. It's also just a fantasy anime with a team of people who presumably go on to save the world. We have another isekai next, so Saikyo Noyoji no Isekai Tenseiki. The strongest exorcist gets reincarnated. We've had other anime where the strongest at something gets reincarnated. We've had the one mentioned earlier about the Demon King, and there's also been one, the strongest hero, the weakest crest, or something like that. I'm not sure what it's actually called. Handyman in Another World. So that seems like, again, a bit of a different take for a isekai. So if someone gets isekai'd, they have unique skills that they can sort of lend. Of course, we've had isekai where they've got, for example, pharmacy. We've got isekai where they happen to be very interested in mecha, and that all contributes to their ability to make a big impact in the world. So seeing how some modern sort of handyman stuff sort of incorporated, as long as it reincarnated, could be interesting. Next we have Chilling in My 30s After Getting Fired from the Demon. It seems interesting. This is a bit of a different take on fantasy anime, having being adopted by the Demon Lord. The daddies don't really have any information. There's no synopsis yet, so I can't look into that. Next we have Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill. That's another isekai series. So this is another sort of food isekai. So there's been a few food isekais. More notably with fantasy, we've got Isekai Izakaya Nobu, and we've also got Restaurants in Another World. We've also got Mengchi Shishen, if you're talking about Chinese shows as well. Although that isn't really fantasy, it's just sort of isekai time travel. This looks like it is a fantasy anime, but since they're actually in the world, not just interacting with it through the facade of their restaurant, you do have them actually being there, so it sort of lends more to something like Mengchi Shishen, where she's actually there, although she only interacts with actual people, because that's all there is in that world. There is no actual like fantasy aspect in terms of magic. Saving 80,000 gold in Another World for my retirement. Again, sounds like an isekai. Yep, it's theme isekai. It sounds interesting, so again, different take for an isekai. It's always good to see people not just trying to, copy the exact same plot, basically. There's some variance. So again, this one is more about trying to gain money. That sounds interesting. I'll probably watch that. Next we have Monogatari. So I'm not sure if this is related to the Monogatari series at all, or it's just another one with Monogatari in the title, which I guess just means like story or tale or something like that. Got Lupin the Third versus Cat's Eye. I'm not sure if Cat's Eye is another franchise that they're doing a crossover with, or it's just related for this movie. so I got really no comment on that, but I've seen one Loop in the Third movie, and some of the television series, more of the recent stuff, so I don't think I'd be watching that. But Detective Conan Hyper Eye Monogatari Kuragano no Mystery, the title continues, so I can't see the rest of the title. So it's based on the past of the character of Hyper from Detective Conan. I've watched a number of episodes of that show already. One thing to note is that compared to the previous time I did this, there was a bunch of Chinese stuff in the O&A section when I originally did a video like this, but this time it seems like the only Chinese thing is this Chinese folktales thing, which I don't even know if it's even a Chinese show, it's just a Chinese title. So I guess that's it. So in conclusion, I'll probably be watching some fantasy anime, maybe make some videos about them and comparisons. So pretty much some of them are sound similar to some other shows. So I guess that's it. If you like this video, if you like the video, comment down below your thoughts, ideas, future videos, and subscribe so you'll be seeing videos like this in the future.